Welcome friends, it's Rae. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to step outside of my comfort zone and do something totally different today. I am going to do some masking to make a pumpkin scene using Artful Angel's Hello Gorgeous stamp set. I am using Masking Magic by Gina K, and this is masking paper that allows you to cover parts of your images, add other images on top so that you can create a scene. So here I have placed some scrap pieces of Masking Magic in my Misty stamping platform and am just bringing in my pumpkins and I'm trying to maximize the space, so you'll see me moving these around until I get them positioned just the way I want them. And here I will bring in some Hero Arts Intense Black ink and stamp these images onto my masking paper. And then I will use scissors to fussy cut them out. I cut out my 4 images off camera and now am placing a piece of cardstock in my Misty. Also brought in my acetate grid sheet so that I can line up my stamps the way I want them, close the door on my Misty, and then remove that acetate. Here I applied my anti-static powder in preparation for heat embossing. I used these stamps previously and I did not clean them, and I am coming in with my clear Versamark embossing ink, and you can see that you can now see that image that I've stamped with Versamark. Normally it is clear and you can't see it on camera, so I did leave a little black residual on my stamp from the previous project on purpose so that you'd be able to see as I stamp. So I'm going to go through all 3 of these panels and stamp the same pumpkin in the same place. So I'm making 3 cards today, and they are all going to be A7 5x7 cards. So before you start your masking, you want to figure out which image you want in the foreground or up front. That is the image you stamp first. And so that's what I'm doing on all 3 of these panels, applying my, stamping my embossing ink, and then I will come in with my embossing powder. And so here I'm using Hero Arts Gold embossing powder. Love this color, and I'm going to go through and emboss the pumpkin, the center pumpkin, on each of my 3 panels. Before I start embossing, I'm going to I did apply anti-static powder on my panel before I stamped my pumpkin, and so here I'm bringing in my dry paintbrush and will erase any unwanted embossing powder in areas that I don't want it, and then I will bring in my heat tool and watch as the magic happens as I'm heating the embossing powder. Okay, so now I'm going to place my panel back into my Misty and my acetate grid sheet over top, and bring in my next pumpkin and get it, or actually both my left and right pumpkin and get those positioned on my panel exactly where I want them, and then close the door of the MISTI and pick those up. Next, I will remove the release paper from the back of my mask and place that on my center pumpkin that that I've already heat embossed. Here I apply my anti-static powder tool. Next, I will ink up my pumpkins with the Versamark clear embossing ink. And again, they have some black residue so that you can see what I'm doing. Inking those up, and we'll do the same on each of the 3 panels. Now I removed the masking so that you could see the final image, and also so that I can reuse that same masking on my next panel and do the same. So I will finish these off camera and come back. And so now I will apply that same gold embossing powder to my 2 newest pumpkins and go ahead and do that for each panel and heat set. And once I'm finished, I will come back. Placed my card panel back inside my MISTI. So for this next step, I am going to use the masking paper over top of each of my pumpkins. And I am getting my pumpkins all covered up, and then I will apply my anti-static powder. Well, first I'm going to position from that stamp set, there are 2 leaves. I'm going to position those leaves, and I am going to, oh, there are 3 leaves, sorry. And so just positioning those, and then we'll apply my anti-static powder tool. I'm applying that same gold embossing powder, and we'll go through and heat set that, and then come back in and move my leaves and stamp them again. I want a full pumpkin patch here underneath my pumpkins. Let's take a moment for random thoughts and questions. #RTQ. Is masking something you like to use in your projects? Let me know in the comments whether you've tried masking before. Okay, I've put my MISTI corners into my MISTI, or at least one of them, because I'm going to be stamping off of the edge of this panel as I move my vines, or I should say my leaves, around to form my pumpkin patch. So same technique, going to put my masking on. Probably could have use some mask for my leaves that I've already stamped. Didn't think of it, and then as I went along, I thought with the coloring that I'm going to be doing, it's probably not going to matter so much, and in the end it didn't. So I'm going through stamping this in the same manner, and we'll do that for all 3 panels. And here I've removed my MISTI corners, and we'll add my leaves. I think this is my last time adding leaves. I'm adding a leaf to the left of my left pumpkin. So I'm placing that mask back on the panel, and then we'll get my leaf positioned. And I will go ahead and stamp that, but I will heat emboss it off camera. I'm going to use my Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend alcohol marker. So I'm going to use burnt orange, coral blend, citrus green blend, and earth brown blends. Okay, and typically I start with my medium marker and bring in my light. But here I kind of forgot that, and I brought in the dark. And then I'm bringing in the medium. I only do this on this one pumpkin. Because as soon as I realized that I did that, I thought, oh no, it's going to be too dark. But I'm going to blend it as best I can. And in the end, I do end up using it along with the other two panels. So I am coloring. If you have any questions, do leave those in the comment. I'm going to speed this up a bit, and we'll go ahead and list the marker colors below. But just know that on all of the pumpkins, I do use the medium blend, medium and light. I go from medium to light, and just happen to go from dark to medium on this one pumpkin. Not really remembering my rationale here, but I do come in with my dull green blend and start on my stems, and then I realize that's too dark, so I'm trying to lighten it up. That doesn't work. So then I will come in with my earth brown blend and try and smooth that out as best I can, and use the light on the earth brown for the rest of my stems. And so that one right stem on my pumpkin, it turns out brown. It just turns out a little dark, and I will show that to you in the final pictures. And when I'm done with the stems, I bring in my burnt orange again and just try and blend out a little bit more on that center pumpkin. I will do the rest of the coloring off camera on the other two panels. I'm bringing in a scrap of Hero Hues pumpkin cardstock and bringing in some sentiments from that same stamp set. And I'm going to stamp 3 of these and heat emboss in gold. I will do that heat embossing off camera, and then I will come back and fussy cut those out. Okay, so here are the panels. This is the one I colored on camera, and I used the darker of the markers to go around the edge, and then I didn't blend that out as much as I would like, even though I think that looks okay enough to put on a card. In the other 2, I started out with the medium marker. Okay, and that is actually what I intended to do on this one, and then I forgot. And same with the stems, I went darker instead of medium. So I did that on these 2. Here I'm bringing in my white gel pen and just going and touching up areas where I may have colored outside of the line or anything that did a bleed across the line, just cleaning that up. Here I have partially released the release paper on my double-sided tape, and will add liquid glue to those areas that I have no tape on, as well as the exposed area of the double-sided tape. And this gives me the opportunity to get this affixed to my mat and room to move it around if need be before I commit it. And this panel, my white panel, is actually cut with a scalloped panel from a Waffle Flower A7 die set, and it is 4 5/8 by 6 5/8. So I have cut my mat, my pumpkin colored mat, to 4 1/2 by 6 1/2, so that I just have a little bit of pumpkin border. Here I brought in gold metallic thread, wrapped it around my fingers, as you saw there, 6 times, and then just am using my tweezers to hold that in place while I tie a knot in the center just to hold this together. And I bring in a glue dot and place it on my panel, put my bow, my gold bow, on top of that metallic thread, and then I place my sentiment on top, and then I'm just now using my scissors to trim that down. Lastly, I'm bringing in my Nuvo glitter drops in Golden Sunset, and I'm placing 3 of those in a triangular fashion on my panel. Gave it a little tap to help those smooth down a little bit, and that finishes my card. I love the way these cards turned out, and we'll show you a picture here of each of them. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you liked the video and will give me a thumbs up and subscribe if not already a subscriber. Until next time, good day, friends.